Somewhere in a drawer or a box in your home right now, there is probably a letter, a card, or an old envelope that someone mailed to someone you love. And the tiny little square in the corner of that envelope, it carries one of the most quietly powerful stories in American history. Stay with me until the end, because this story is going to change the way you think about every letter you have ever sent or received, and maybe inspire you to write one today. Picture America in 1842. The country is young, restless, and spreading fast. Families are pulling apart at the seams, moving west, moving to cities, chasing opportunity and adventure. And the only way to reach the people you leave behind is to write a letter. Here is the problem. Sending a letter in 1842 is complicated, expensive, and frankly exhausting. There is no standard system, no reliable price. The person receiving the letter is usually the one who has to pay for it, and the cost can be so high that families sometimes have to refuse their own mail because they simply cannot afford it. Think about that for a moment. A mother writing to her daughter across the country. A husband sends word to his wife that he arrived safely. A son letting his parents know he is alive and well. And the letter never gets opened because the price is just too high. Enter a man named Henry Thomas Windsor, a New York City postmaster with a very simple but radical idea. What if sending a letter cost the same for everyone? What if you paid up front with a small adhesive stamp and the whole system became reliable, affordable, and fair? On February 28, 1842, the City Dispatch Post in New York began selling the first adhesive postage stamps in American history. 3 cents, prepaid, stick it on and send it. 3 cents, that is it, less than the cost of a single button. And suddenly, for the first time, ordinary working people can afford to stay connected to the people they love. The response is immediate. People who had given up on the mail system come back. Letters that had gone unwritten because the cost felt impossible are suddenly being composed at kitchen tables across the city. Here is a number that puts it beautifully in perspective. Within just a few years of the adhesive stamp system's national spread, the volume of mail sent in America increased by more than 100%. People do not write more letters because stamps exist. They write more letters because they can now. But here is what the numbers cannot tell you. What really changes on February 28, 1842, is not the postal system. It is something far more tender than that. It is the mother who finally hears her son is safe. The husband who gets to tell his wife he loves her across 500 miles of prairie. The immigrant family that can finally write home and say, "We made it. We are well. We have not forgotten you." And that connection, that deep human need to reach across distance and say, "I am here and I am thinking of you," is something that has never changed. Not in 1842, not today. A 3-cent stamp. A small square of paper with a little blue on the back. And yet, it carried the weight of everything that matters most. Love, family, memory. The unbreakable human need to stay connected. And that makes me think about you. About the stories you are carrying right now. The people who come after you will never know unless you write them down. Because here is the truth that those early letter writers understood so deeply. The words we send out into the world, the ones we take the time to write down and preserve, those are the ones that last. Those are the ones that get pulled from a drawer decades later and read aloud to someone who never met the person who wrote them and yet feels completely known by them. What stories are still unwritten in your life? What have you lived through, laughed about, survived, and treasured that only you can tell? Your children, your grandchildren, the people who love you, they are waiting for those stories even if they do not know it yet. You do not need perfect words. You just need to begin.